Hey, sorry about that. I'm just going to make this a part 2 video. Sort of ran out of space on my memory chip. Don't know why I didn't receive a notification before. But basically, that was part 1 in that video. This is going to be part 2. Just basically, instead of doing a whole new video, I'm just going to cut this in 2 parts. So basically what I was saying here was XRP, looking at this in a bullish way but short-term bearish way, would be this would be a triangle here, just like this, and in which case every wave needs 3 waves, right? So we have 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and now we're in wave E. So we have A, B, C, D, and E, and now we're in the middle of E. So this is the final wave before the moonshot to the moon, right? So this would be our first wave to the downside, up and then down, right? So this would be our last 3-wave move before the moonshot. So let's see if we can get that. So if we do break lower and hit this 40-cent area, it's not the end of the world. I would just look at it as wave E before that bigger moonshot. If that's not the case, we're just going to come down and back test this area right in here, and then continue marching higher. So either way, I'm looking at it as extremely bullish. Now, if we start breaking below, 35, 30 cents, then definitely going to change my tune. But right now, I'm expecting this as a bull flag in here, breaking out. Or if we break below this, then I'm looking at this as an E wave, finishing up wave E before we break out. So basically, that's XRP. Sorry for the part 2 video. I'm just trying to get everything in one video. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this video part 1. So I'm going to make this video part 1 just so that people understand what happened. Okay, so this is part 1 of the video. I'm going to as soon as this is posted, I'm going to post part 2, which is really, the first part, so that you can go back and watch it. So the first part would be XLM and XRP. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check out the video that I'm going to post after this one. But basically, I was just finishing up with XRP, and then my memory chip got full and it screwed up the whole video. It's not the first time that's happened. Something similar happened last week as well. So I'm not an editor. I could go and edit it and splice it, but that's not my forte. I don't have any editing programs. I'm just doing this on my phone. So I just kind of like a one take, a one shot thing. It's a do or die, so there's no editing in these videos. I do pause the video to bring up pictures and things like that, but there's no editing. So I'm not savvy in that field. Maybe one day we'll get a better a setup and be professional about it. But as of right now, just showing ideas. I don't need fancy equipment or expensive microphones and all these things that YouTubers have, and it's great, it's awesome, but I'm not too sure if I want to make that investment quite yet. We'll see what happens. But anyways, I did XLM. I'm gonna post that video later. I just finished XRP, so you got the tail end of the XRP analysis. Now I'm gonna move on to Bitcoin, and then I'm gonna touch on Theta and maybe a few others. But right now, With Bitcoin, nothing has changed at all. Looking at the 5-day chart, I mean, I can even go to the weekly chart. Basically, in the previous video, I said a couple different things. The first thing was coming down to backtest this 31K, 30K area. So we had our bottom, we impulsed to the upside, and now we made this range in here, right? We ranged. It was a three-wave move. A, B, C. We broke out of the range. So now common sense says, okay, we broke out. What comes next? Well, typically we come down A, B, C. We back test the top of this range. We'll back test the top of the range and then continue higher. And that's basically, in a nutshell, what could potentially happen. So we're at 36,899, right? So say 36,900. We can come all the way down to 31K area. So basically, yeah, that's basically in a nutshell what it is. So taking everything off, and let's zoom in to see what has happened over the last few days here. Not much has changed, right? So we're basically in this channel here, right? And we're just marching our way up. So let's see what happens. Zooming into the 4-hour chart, let's see if we can get any other ideas here. So one of the big things I said in the other video was when we were marching our way up, we broke out, right? And I said we can either come down and backtest 30K, or we can backtest the top of this in the short term. So this was our resistance area. We broke out, we came down, we backtested 35K. What happened? We impulsed to the upside. But what happened? We came up, we couldn't take out that top. So we kind of made like a double top, right? Not to say that it is a top, right? And then we pulled back down, and now we're starting to grind higher, and then we got this pullback. So basically, it's consolidating. It's in another sort of range, right? So this was our first range in here. And this is our new range in here, right? So let's see if we break it to the upside. If we break it to the upside, then I'm going to be looking at this fractal. So this is the fractal that we're looking at here. And basically, you know, we were in this this upwards channel just like before. So this right here is the fractal that we're comparing it to. And basically this fractal, it broke, you can't see it, it's not on the chart, but it broke out and it marched to the upside. This, we're still in this this channel in here. So let's see if we, you know, continue marching with this channel. I mean, you can see, look how nicely it followed. We have this down move, right? Down move, same. It's pretty identical. And now we shot up, and now we're in this channel in here, right? So it looks pretty good. So let's see, basically, let's see if we continue marching higher. This would be the more bullish option. So here's your back test level right here, right? So if it fails, then we're going to come down and back test. You can see this did not come down to back test. It just continued higher. So we'll keep an eye on that fractal and see if it continues to play. So basically, just to summarize real quick, we were in this range, we broke out, we back tested, we failed to take out this high, we came back down, and we're sort of in this channel, right? Just like the fractal. And the fractal would suggest, right, if it's going to play, that this thing just kind of grinds up, fakes people out, and then it sort of just, marches higher, right? The way this becomes invalidated is if we take out this 35.5K area. So 35.5K area. If we take that out, then it's going to look completely different, and then we can discard that fractal. But until then, let's see if we're getting a pullback right now. I know a lot of the alts don't look ready for any type of move, right? They still look like they're in a correction, but let's see if we come down to this trend line here. So as long as we hold that trend line, we come down, test it, we can even wick below it. But if we can continue holding higher, that's kind of how I'm going to treat it. But if we come down and we retest it as resistance and start coming down and start breaking below this area, then I'm going to look at this right here, which is the back test of this range. So I've said it in multiple videos that I think it's very possible, right? When you zoom out, it looks more clear. We had a 1, 2, 1, 2. We came all the way up. Maybe this is in a wave 4, and then we get one more wave to the upside. And then we come down A, B, C, and then we go higher. So that could definitely happen as well, which basically means, this was 1, 2, 3, and now we're in the middle of 4, and we get one more push to the upside. Maybe we tag that 39, 40K area up here, and then we A, B, C, we back test this area, and this whole thing would be 1, 2, and now we're going up for wave 3. So we're still not there yet. We got to wait, and let's see if we can break this range. So basically, yeah, that's about it. Do I think Bitcoin's going to go into a new all-time high? It's very hard to say, but if I had to take a guess, I would say no. I think it definitely not this year. I think maybe after the halving, definitely possible. I'm looking more towards 2025, but definitely possible in 2024. We had our crash. Right? This was our crash. Now we're in a retracement. And what comes next? Our reaccumulation, sideways, blast off. Just like XRP, right? Just looking at it. So looking at XRP back in 2014, 2015 area, what we saw, right? We saw a rise, a crash, a retrace. So this is the retrace we're in right now for Bitcoin. Retrace, and then what happened? We came all the way back down. Reaccumulation. Then what happened? We went sideways, right? We went sideways for a long time. So rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, blast off. So that's kind of what's going on potentially for Bitcoin. So real quick again, we have our crash, our retrace. We're going to come down for reaccumulation. Sideways, right? Maybe develop more accumulation and then blast off. Just like XRP. Now, the retrace can go a lot higher than how I've drawn it. So, for example, we can pull back and then march up a little higher like this. And that would give us a great alt season. So yeah, we'll have to see. And then, so our crash, our retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, go. Just like how I showed for XRP, which is right here. And then here's the interesting thing. about XRP, right? So, you know, you had your rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, blast off. Same thing for Bitcoin. That's potential. Same thing right here, right? We have a rise, a crash, a retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, sideways, sideways. What comes next? Go. So why would XRP go and Bitcoin not, right? Well, if Bitcoin still has further to retrace, XRP could get an explosive rally. It only takes a couple weeks for XRP to have an ending rally. I mean, looking at this right here, it was only a few weeks for that wave to end. So we'll see if that occurs, right? I highly recommend watching the other video, right? It doesn't really matter which video you watch first. But the first video I talked about XLM and XRP and the rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation structure. A lot of different things in there that are useful, not just for XLM and XRP, but looking at it for the rest of the market as well. You know, this, like, for example, cup and handle, the Wyckoff accumulation down in here, just different types of things like that. So moving on, let's look at Theta. Okay, so one of the things I talked about in the previous video was there's 3 different routes, right? And one of them is, here's our resistance up here. Basically said this. Route number 1, we come up, we break out, we back test, we go. That's not looking like it's going to happen. It could. It could still. This could be just a little pullback, and then we go, right? We could pull back a little bit. But then it would be more like the purple path, right? The purple path is this, the one that I preferred, which is basically, here's your wave right here. Let me zoom in a little bit. So here's our wave. And basically what I said was, take this entire wave to the upside and cut it in half, just like XRP. And then we're going to pull back into this wave, just like that, and then go. Back test, go. So that was the purple path. And that is the path that I prefer. And the reason why is because it would look beautiful for an inverse head and shoulders. So here's your shoulder, your left shoulder. So resistance, resistance. Left shoulder, you're cupping into the resistance. Notice how it's cupping into the resistance. You have your head, which is cupping in. We didn't quite make it there, but that's okay because you can have a sloping neckline, which is fine. So your shoulder, your head, and now we're going to be developing the right shoulder, which is the bullish shoulder, right? So we had our first markup phase that finished that head, and now we're potentially developing this this right shoulder, right? And if we can come down and back test these areas in here, 50% of that wave, somewhere in the mid 70s, I would think. So I would say between 70 and 80 cents is a good area. I mean, it could happen now. It could be finished now. I don't know. I don't think so, right? It still looks like it's got a little bit more to go, but I'm happy to be proven wrong. One of the areas to look for is this area right here. So the top of that wave, right in there. So where does that come out at? Between 80 and 83. So we could come down between 80 and 83, right? Come down in here, back test this resistance and back test it to make it the new support and to develop that right shoulder, right? So that is sort of my main thesis of what I think could happen. And then that would complete, right, this Wyckoff accumulation, right, which would be, the spring down in here, the liquidity grab, the markup phase. Now we just need to get above the range. Once we get above and we're hanging out up here, above $1.30, just say $1.30. If we can consolidate above $1.30 for at least a week or two, then it really sets us up for more bullish price action going towards $2.50. So I would look at this area right in here. And once we can accomplish that, so all that area in there would be our next area. If we can break out, which I really think we can. We just have to, like I said, we have to develop that right shoulder, which we're doing now. This is a good thing. If you notice, the SEC sued Kraken, boom, right on time. There was our narrative. Remember I said before, we need some type of, we had an impulse. Now we have a pullback, right? What's going to be the narrative? And sure enough, the SEC and all their corruption, they came out and they decided to sue Kraken, right? And, they're not going to stop there. They're going to keep going. And they listed a bunch of coins on Kraken, but they did not list XRP, interestingly, which is a good thing. And they didn't list Theta either, right? Because I don't even know if they have Theta on there. But they listed a few on there. So we'll see what happens with that. But basically, there's your narrative to form the right shoulder. Like I tweeted out, we consolidate, we break out, consolidate, and we get up here in this target area. And then once we're up in here, we can decide what's going to happen. It can even go even higher. You can even go up all the way up there. So we'll just have to wait and see. Now for Theta, right, it could be in that same type of deal, right? So like a crash, retrace, reaccumulation, that's definitely possible, which basically means even with XRP and Bitcoin, you have a crash. You have a rise, a crash, a retrace. We're in the retrace. We come down for reaccumulation. We go sideways for a bit, and then we go and we moonshot. And when I mean moonshot, I mean moon to Mars, to Pluto, because that would be wave 1, right? Wave 1, A, B, C, wave 2, and now we're going into wave 3, which could really catapult us massively. Just a real fast Fibonacci area here. This is linear. You're looking at $60 plus. I think this thing can get above $100. That's just me. I think $100 for Theta is definitely possible in the next bull run. So is this the next bull run? Is this the next bull run? Or is this just a retracement, right? Well, we have to wait and see, because right now we just don't know. We have to wait for confirmation. But one thing is for sure. When you zoom all the way out on the macro, we are incredibly bullish. Like I've said before, here's your base, your concrete foundation, your impulse, right? Your flagpole is coming out of this foundation, right? And then you have this correction, right? Which often leads to a breakout. Now the question is, does this breakout retrace and then we come down for a reaccumulation and then we go? Or is this just a 1, 2, and now we're going into 3? It's hard to say. There's a lot of different factors at play that could come into here. But, right, most of us would want this to just rip to the upside. But if you take the long way, and this is retracement, and then you come down for reaccumulation, Think about how much more theta you would be able to accumulate. Now you may say, I have enough, I'm ready to go to the moon, and that's totally fine, and that's great. But at the end of the day, you can never have enough. When you think you have enough, you don't have enough, right? I mean, it's all subjective of what is enough. But I know when in 2017, when we moonshotted with Bitcoin, I thought, let's continue going. But if we never had that bear market, I would have never been to accumulate the amount I had. So I'm glad it took the amount of time it did, because the more time it takes, the more time you can accumulate. And when we do officially moon, you have a lot more to show for. So for example, if you need like a $300 target to meet your whatever $1 million goal, like I don't know what your goal is, but let's say your goal is to have 1 million or 5 million or whatever, or even not even that, maybe 100,000, maybe 200,000, right? You need a specific price. But if time elapsed and we go into this reaccumulation, now you only need, instead of a $500 theta, now you only need a $200 theta. Or instead of a $100 theta, now you only need a $50 theta, or whatever. So you don't need as high as a price to meet that, to meet your goal. Like, what's your goal in crypto? Like, do you want to just hold for the next 20 years and see what happens? Do you want to hold until you have a sufficient enough to be a millionaire? Because I think, I can't speak for everybody, but I think most people want to be millionaires, and that's, crypto is one of the only goals, right? You could be a rap singer, not possible, right? Most people can't. You could be an actor, right? Not everybody is an actor. You could be a super lawyer, like that takes a lot of work, right? But what options do you have to be a millionaire? There's not really much, right? When we were all younger and maybe elementary, middle school, we thought, yeah, we're gonna be a millionaire. I'm gonna be an actor. I'm gonna be this. I'm gonna be that. But when life comes, it hits you hard and you get humbled, right? But now we have crypto. We have crypto, and crypto to me is a vehicle that we should all be appreciative. The vehicle might be very slow at times because there's a lot of traffic ahead, but once that traffic clears up, the grass is always greener. So it's very interesting, the psychology we all have. But basically, long story short, for Theta, if we come up and retrace, and we come back down, and we go into reaccumulation before going higher, that might be the difference between $100,000 and $1 million. That might be the difference between $1 million and $5 million. Just that amount of time it took for you to accumulate even more. So, or if we continue rocking to the upside, right? The goal is the same, right? These two legs are actually the same, right? So they're basically the same. The difference is this one got here fast, this one took longer. So this person has $5 million, this person has $1 million. You see what I'm trying to say? So this person, we waited. We took the long way, and we were able to get more. We had to wait longer, but at the end we got more, right? So it all depends on your time scale, your risk tolerance. But what I'm trying to say is, we can't control if it's going to do this or if it's going to do this. We can't control it. So all I can say is be happy with either one. I know most people, I would say 90%, 99 maybe, are happy and thrilled for the future of crypto. So no matter what happens, we're going to be in a good position. So, it's just the only thing that kills us is time. But actually, time can be our best friend, because time it sucks that it's not happening now, right? But time is actually could be our best friend, meaning the amount of time that has elapsed gives us more time to accumulate. The more we accumulate, the more position we have, the less of the target we need to meet our goal. If maybe your goal is like 100,000, maybe it's 500, maybe it's 1,000,000, maybe it's 100 million. I don't know, but whatever your goal is, time is a good thing because it all allows us to accumulate. Like I've said with Warren Buffett, his quote: Warren Buffett says, "The stock market is a device that transfers wealth from the impatient to the patient." And same goes with crypto. Same goes with crypto. So just a little rant there, a little perspective. Basically, yeah. So what else? What else is happening with Theta? Well, I gave you the two options here, and we still have that other option, which is the more bearish one. So basically, I'm looking at this. We develop the right shoulder. We consolidate, we go. So left shoulder, head, right shoulder, go. And that's how I'm looking at it. The bearish option is right here. And that would be, one second. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we need to come down for 5. And then we moon to the upside, right? Or at least we pump. So either way, let's first treat it the inverse head and shoulders way. If we break below this area right in here, so if we break this area right in here to the downside, then we're going to be looking at this, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go, which would allow you to buy some super cheap Theta, and it wouldn't take that long either. So those are our three options. So basically, option number 1, we pull back just a little bit, we break out, we go. Option number 2, we pull back a little deeper, we develop that right shoulder, we break out, we back test, we go. Third option is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we go. So all three options say we go. We're bullish. It's just all about time and direction, right? So we just have to wait and see. But as of right now, we are getting a pullback. Let's take everything off the screen and zoom in here to see if we can see anything. So the bullish way you can look at this is an A, B, C. So that's finished, and now we have a 1, 2, and now we're looking for 3, 4, 5. That would be the bullish way to look at it. If that's still in play, but if this low gets taken out and we come down, then we're looking at more downside, which would be fine because it would just be developing, like I said before, the right shoulder. So, or you can have some type of diag where this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we come down for 5, right? And we make this like bull flag type of deal before breaking out, right? That's totally possible as well. Another idea is a WXY, which would be, I'll just say ABC. 1, 2, 3, A, 1, 2, 3, B, and then C. It'd actually be WXY. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, A, or actually W. 1, 2, 3, W. 1, 2, 3, B. 1, 2, 3, C. So that would be 3 W, 3 up, X, 3 down, Y. And then after that, that would be our full three-way move. So that would be 1, 1, 2, 3. And then we can start heading on up. So that would make sense after this big impulse, right? So we had a nice pump, a beautiful rally in theta. And now what typically happens is a 1, 2, 3. We have a three-way pullback followed by more upside. Remember, this is an impulse and this is a correction. So we just have to wait for the correction to end. Now, the correction can get really nasty, meaning it can pull back all the way down here. So let me take everything off real quick. And here's another option. There's a lot of different possibilities, and I want to shoot them all your way so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on here. So this is our range, right? Our range in here. We broke out of the range. We broke out, and now we can come all the way down and back test the range before breaking out to the upside. So here's our resistance, resistance, resistance. We broke out of the resistance. Now we can come down and back test as support and then continue higher. And that would still develop the right shoulder that we talked about. So yeah, it really depends. It really depends how much of this wave we're going to retrace. So if I take everything off the screen and I do a retracement, right? So I take a Fibonacci and I put it from here all the way to the top. Right now, we're at about 50% of the Fibonacci. Usually we get a 618. So about 79 cents. So I would look for this right in here. Now it could be already finished. It could be already finished and we could be on our way. That's totally possible. But if not, if we continue to bleed to the downside, just remember, it's still bullish. We're still in a bullish situation. So let's see, and you can even take this and extend it over here, like I said before here. So let's see if we can hold above this area. And I would actually prefer if we did hold above this area, simply because of this right here. So this was strong resistance. We pulled down, we broke above that strong resistance, and now we're pulling back into the resistance to make it potentially new support before climbing on up. So that would finish our right shoulder. So zooming completely out, what would that look like? Same thing. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, go. So yeah, we have to wait. We have to wait and see. All options are still on the table until proven otherwise. But I hope this video has helped. Like I said, there's two videos, right? There's two videos I had posted. I made the first video and then the video just stopped on me because the memory chip, my storage basically filled up. So I just stopped the video and I didn't get the whole video out. So basically I'm going to break it in two parts. I'm going to upload this video first, and then I'm going to upload the second video. The second video is just more or less the same of this one, and going in depth of XLM and how bullish it is. I mean, here's XLM right here. You have a falling wedge, just real quick. You have a falling wedge. You have this beautiful base, just like Theta, right? You have a big impulse off the low. You have a potential 1 2 1 2 1 2, which is set up for a lot higher prices. And then, you know, so basically we broke out of this falling wedge, just to make a long story short. And zooming in here to the 4-hour chart, you can see consolidation, we break out, we back test, and now let's see if we can continue marching to the upside. Another bullish thing too is this right here. So can you see it? And I'm going to talk about this a lot in the video. You have a shoulder, a head, and now just like Theta, we're developing that right shoulder. So it can continue. Sorry about that. Just real quick, shoulder, head, shoulder, and yeah, let's see if we can continue marching up with XLM. I mean, you could see pretty clearly this is an impulse, and this right here is a corrective move. So it looks just like a bull flag right here. Little bottom, flag pull. Here's your flag. The flag can pull back a little bit more, but we're expecting a pump to the upside. So let's see if we get that pump to the upside. If not, the more bearish idea would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? We break down here, and then we can potentially move on up. But anyway, I go into the other video alongside XRP, so I highly recommend checking that out. But yeah, that's basically it. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, I will see you later. Remember, if you can, please leave a like, a comment, and if there's any coins you want me to check out, drop them in the comment section below. I didn't get a chance to do Theta Fuel, but it's the same thing. It's the same type of logic with Theta. I'll be sure to do that on the next video. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.